Last week I was in Fish from Fever's live stream, and he mentioned the Rachel Leary Scaping from Scraps challenge, and asked if anyone was going to do it. So I figured I've got a spare tank lying around, I've got some pieces of wood, I'm sure I can find some other stuff. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So the only tank I had was this little 2-gallon cylinder. I think it's only about 8 inches in diameter. I think it's left over from a betta fish tank from a couple years ago. Anyways, this is the only tank I have lying around. It's going to be interesting to try and get in there and do some scaping. It's so small. So my options for substrate were a bit limited. I had some top fin regular gravel left over from a guppy tank, and then this regular play sand that I picked up a few months back that I wanted to try and use for a cichlid tank that didn't end up working out. So I had to figure out which one I want to use. So next I had to look and see what hardscaping materials I had. I knew I had these 3 random pieces of driftwood lying around that I got on Amazon months ago. They were actually sitting in this tank, just empty. So as I was walking past my substrates, I noticed that in our bird bath that we haven't put outside yet, we had these 4 river stones. So I decided I would bring those with me and see if I could use them for anything as well. So now it was time to actually get in here. I ended up deciding to use the play sand as the base for my scape, and then I was going to use some of the gravel as well. Now for plants to add to the tank, I ended up harvesting some Java moss from my betta tank, and then I found a piece of, I think it's water sprite, that I have in a 6-gallon, and I also trimmed my Coppa Carolinia, I think is how you say it. That's also in my betta tank, and I was able to use those in here. It's also my first time actually using the tweezers. So now it's time to fill up the tank. Now I should probably preface this by saying I have never actually used sand before to actually scape with, and I wasn't thinking that when I poured water in it would destroy the little mountain that I had made. So I ended up having to drain the tank, add more gravel to that little hill, and fix it up a bit. So here's what the tank looked like after I drained it and fixed everything up. I ended up putting a little more sand on the hill and then using some of the gravel to kind of shore it up a little bit, kind of like the support. And I guess I should also explain sort of what my inspiration was. So after I saw the rocks and I started playing around with it, I ended up thinking of a tomb or something like in the middle of a jungle with a pathway leading up it to the top of the hill. So that's why I put the 2 pieces of driftwood sort of in the middle of the path as an archway, and then used the Java moss and my water sprite to kind of make it look like growth and a bunch of vines and stuff. And then I put the bacoba just kind of around as like trees and whatnot. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to talk about stocking options. I'm probably just going to use this tank for a snail tank. I have some ram shoes, or ram shows, I don't know what people actually call them, downstairs for breeding. So I'm just going to end up putting a few of those in here and let them do their thing. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I also want to say thank you for all the support I got on my first video. It was much appreciated. So please, if you did enjoy this, remember to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.